Hey everyone, the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notifications down below if you haven't already. Good morning everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Wagon Wheel of Wisdom. I am Kevin, your host. Behind me as usual, beautiful wagon wheel, and hopefully still a little wisdom up here. This morning I want to talk about a topic that I'm hoping, well, two topics really, and I'm hoping they each help sort of simplify the journey and begin to detach from labels and essentially kind of detaching yourself from the storyline in its entirety to focus the one goal in all of this, and that is the self-improvement of the self here. So let's think about it, I guess, from this perspective here. When good things happen in our life, we often feel a sense of joy, a sense of gratitude, like the universe is sort of lined up and is working in our favor. And we're, in a sense, oh, thank you, universe. Thank you so much for this. This is great. Now, the question I would ask all of you, and it's a question I've asked myself, is when things go awry, or when things go, or what we deem to be bad or wrong, are we thanking the universe then? Are we in a state of joy or a state of gratefulness? And are we looking at it from the correct angle? Because if you were anything like I used to be in the past, I would look at these, call it challenges or tests, as something that was completely daunting. The world is against me. This person's against me. It's their fault, the whole blame game, etc., etc. But on the flip side, when things happen, when it's joyous, oh my God, the universe is on my side. God is my teammate. This and that. So you get my drift with this. Well, let's talk a little bit about this, and it's going to translate into the bigger picture of why we're embarking on this journey at this time. So there's three things I think that the universe throws at us, whether good or bad. Signs can often be, if you're like me, you've been noticing numerology everywhere you go. Angel numbers, different signs can be animals. I'm kind of drawing a blank on it, but other various signs out there. The other thing is challenges, and beyond that is then the testing. So we have signs, challenges, and tests. So as I said, signs could be numerology, and what they're going to do is sort of like if I'm in a mode of thinking, or if I'm wondering if I'm on the right path, 222 might pop up, or 333, indicating that you're on the correct path or you're not on the correct path. The challenges that are dropped in front of us, and if we really want to dig deep, and again, I'm going to throw this label out there, but the Dark Knight, that is a challenge. That is the universe dropping something in front of you, because I'm going to guess that all of us are searching for, maybe not searching for, but all of us want a partner. I think that's kind of why we're on this journey, right? And we've been asking for the right partner. But what if we are at a current status right now where we don't have the ability to be the best partner to the partner that we wish and desire? Well, what the universe is going to do is drop challenges in front of you to see how you handle them. And what that's going to help do is create mental endurance, mental strength for you to transition from maybe, and I'll give an example of myself, poor emotional reactions to just acceptance, to as is, to actually listening to somebody. And the last thing is going to be a test. So after enduring the challenges, there's going to be a test coming up. The universe is going to test and see what you've learned throughout that challenge. So they might bring a karmic partner along the way to kind of see where you're at. And if you do believe in this journey, and this next part I'm going to talk about is about that, so that'll be an interesting topic. But if you do believe in this journey, we are facing many challenges for the ultimate test, right? And the test would be, and if you've read comments, people commenting on how partners have chimed back in just to ghost them again. So maybe we haven't fulfilled or completed the challenge to get to that place where we need to be. So again, we're going to see signs. These are numerology, things like that, for me anyway. The challenges during the dark night of the soul is becoming that self-actualized individual that we need to be in order for this partnership that we're potentially yearning for to work out in the correct manner that it's supposed to. And then of course the tests, and that might be the twin coming back into your life for a few moments and then gone, ghosted. It's a reality. It's just what we're up against here. So, and again, I know that this sounds like it's all on the divine feminine's plate, but you know, we have a lot of work to do. There's no question about it, and we can't worry about what they're doing, but we have to do the work too. So, signs, challenges, and tests. The next part I want to talk about is, and this has popped up in the comments a couple times, is people that are claiming this whole journey is BS, that it's not real, twin flames aren't real, etc., etc. And I've noticed a theme in those comments too. It's usually about them, first of all, but it's about, oh, I've been on this for 2 years and none of this stuff works, and I've been on it for 3 years and I'm nowhere, blah, blah, blah. I would have to push back on that to some degree and just say that I think is a mindset thing. Because the question I would ask is, on this journey in those 2 or 3 years, what have you learned? What's different about your life? One person had commented about how they obsessed over this stuff. Well, that is a problem in and of itself, the obsession about the narrative, which is why I'm going to ask people watching this to drop the storyline and drop the narrative and simplify this. Let's simplify it down to bare bones. We are going through a very, very hard breakup, probably the hardest breakup you've ever been through in your life. Now, what are the end goals to get through this journey? Number one, first and foremost, to pick yourself up off the floor and look at yourself in a mirror and just embrace yourself, and I'm gonna be okay. If you have to say it 100 times for a month each day, that is what you need to do. So again, separate it from the storyline. We want to get, like I said, into an area where we are seeing signs, accepting this challenge for what it is, and eventually we'll get to the test to see what we learned, to see if we are ready, to see if we are better people. So when you're thinking of this from the perspective of it's not real, that to me sounds like you're just stuck in this non-forgiveness mindset, anger, bitterness, haven't forgiven, haven't let go. You're not seeing, the universe isn't delivering to you what you think it should, but it actually is, because you aren't to that spot where the universe needs you to be to get your gift. So instead of looking at it, this twin flame crap isn't real, fine. To you it isn't real. To many of us it is, but to you it isn't real. But let's ask yourself something. This is about a self-assessment. It's not about your partner. It's not about them coming back. This is about reinventing yourself. This is about looking in the mirror, and instead of thinking that you need a person in your life to make you feel whole, it's looking in that mirror and knowing you are whole. It's, well, much like the comments, it's not blaming. It's accepting your current situation. You have manifested and you are exactly where you should be, and you want to get to a better place. That requires work and effort. The universe isn't going to align with you when you're not aligning with the universe. It's just, if you look back throughout your life, that's just how it's been. From my perspective now, in my vantage point now, I didn't know it at the time, but the same lesson kept showing up just in different forms over and over again until I frickin' did the work to figure it out. Until I actually put the work into myself and stopped blaming other people, stopped blaming friends, stopped blaming family, stopped blaming the dog, stopped blaming anything else other than the person responsible for manifesting all of it, and that is me. So again, if you don't genuinely want to believe in the narrative and the labels, don't. And by all means, I would actually encourage everybody to maybe stop doing that in some capacity. Deload yourself or defragment your brain from the twin flames and the dark night of the soul and divine masculine and divine feminine, and just shut that part of it down and examine the journey for what it is supposed to be about. You. Once you do that, And I'm just going to use specific examples in my life. When I began to make that transition, the universe started testing me with different things. I met another twin. I've been interacting with other women, maybe to test me to see if I'm going to stick to the celibacy aspect or the no masturbation aspect, just to kind of test my brain, because I used to be a very sexually active person. My relationship with my twin was like that. But do I need that in my life now? No. I need to purify me. I need to separate myself from her in every single facet. I need to disconnect from all of the old things that I put so much value into, that when you actually sit down and think about it, it's like, well, wait a minute. Those things really don't have the amount of value that I gave to them. And I'll ask all of you this too. Are your relationships changing? Because mine certainly are, with everybody. Everybody. Are you living in a state of peace within your own soul? Are you still having the arguments up in your head in the same manner that you used to if something didn't go your way? I'm starting to really sit with these things, and when I'm sitting in soul and feeling the joy of life, the small things don't bother me. And yesterday, when I talked about challenges, I had a huge one, a huge challenge all day long. In my heart space, in my heart chakra, I could feel the squeeze again, and just kind of felt like the motor spinning inside of there. I was in a state of higher irritability than I normally was. And anywhere I went to sit on my normal walking routes here at my place, fighter jets were flying over, airplanes were flying over, jackhammers were going off. I went to go sit in a park, they started mowing the grass. All challenges to see how I'm going to handle that situation, and that's what I took it as. And I tried to do my best to breathe myself down. I could feel myself spinning up, but I'd catch myself and bring that energy back down. Old Kevin would have, I don't know, used the F word in a sentence probably 4 or 5 times in a 7-word sentence. I would have kind of lost my cool. I would have, again, the universe is against me. But instead, I was in a sort of a state of gratitude, and better yet, I was like, all right, I'm being challenged right now. I can set these bags down. So that was my example of a challenge. And then this morning, I woke up after doing some great meditation last night, journaling and breathing, and feel a sense of ease and a sense of peace. And another funny thing, I know it was a full moon yesterday, so I noticed animals are acting weird. When I went to sit in the park, there was probably 24 geese, and it looked like a football team, this squad versus this squad, and they were fighting. I've never seen that before in my life. But again, I was trying to sit down and meditate, and I've got 24 geese sitting there like they were having a football game. It was it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen, but I was in a state of heightened irritability, and it's just like, I can't sit here, and so I got up and left. But that was all day long, to the point where I think, like, Jesus, 3 o'clock rolled around, and it's like, I can't wait to go to bed tonight. It's gonna be quiet. But that's it, you guys. I just want you to all to simplify this and stop looking at it from the lens of, how we view it online. And I'm pointing at my computer over there. How we view it online. You look at the titles, and I'll openly admit I do use the titles so they hit the algorithms, or the labels on my titles so they hit the algorithms correctly, so viewers will chime in, because I want to send a different message out to people. And more importantly, even for people that don't believe this journey is real, if you come onto my channel, or if you really do believe it's real, I'll just ask you to begin to pull away from the label, pull away from the storyline, and write your own story with this as far as your journey is concerned. I think it's going to help you stop maybe obsessing about the partner that isn't in your life. Stop obsessing about why they're ghosting you, and begin to look at it from the angle of a gift. And I keep saying that, a gift, but when you begin to discover your individuality in this and become comfortable with just, rocking out with your bad self, getting the old narratives out of your heart, your head, thinking that the universe is against you, once you start to really push against that, rediscover who you were during these challenges, you're gonna see that it is a gift. And you're giving your partner a gift too by giving them the freedom and space. And somebody said that in a comment too, and it really didn't resonate until I read that comment probably about 4 times this morning. You're giving them a gift too. So I hope all is well. Hope you guys have a great Friday.